Here we go. Looks like we are live. Very cool. Okay. Well, I'm going to give it a couple moments while you guys are hopping on. If you are hopping on live with me, please let me know in the chat that you can actually hear me because we're using this microphone and I want to make sure that the sound is okay. Hopefully it is. If it's not, if you can't hear me, obviously let me know. So, if you are new here, if you're new in this channel, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me over your lunch break. Actually, I should also let my friend know that we're doing a live because I don't think she's going to believe me. So I thought that we would just hang out here for a few moments and take a moment to kind of get grounded, and we can pull a couple of oracle cards for you guys and see sort of what messages are coming through with any messages that come through with spirit, any messages, any love messages that you need to know that can kind of help you within your relationships. So we'll just wait a few moments while you guys are hopping on live. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day today. It is so much snow once again. Just when we were getting a little bit of hope from the weather gods, then we're kind of back in the thick of it. Although it is mild, so hopefully with the time change and everything, it will actually help. So if you guys are watching this on the replay, and I'm going to do my best to see if I can just create like a little timestamp where you can just hop on over to both the grounding practice and then move into the oracle readings. So I thought that it would be a really nice way to kind of welcome the weekend if we have taken some time. Most of you I know will probably not do this because I used to not do this at all. Whenever I would watch oracle readings or tarot readings, I would constantly just hop in and I would always go to my own sign and just tell me what I need to know. Tell me all the messages that are kind of coming through. And honestly, that used to be really, really helpful at the time, but I didn't realize that it's just as important of what you do before you start receiving messages as the message itself, because it's going to really, really resonate completely differently when you take a moment to really get settled into this present moment right now instead of just waiting for the guidance to come through. And even if the guidance does come through, sometimes you're not in that mental space to be able to receive it. So, therefore, it's not going to land the same way, if that makes sense. So I'm going to assume that nobody's coming on live, which is totally fine. I will still give you guys a message collectively, and I wanted to just take a moment to talk about actually. I'm not sure if you guys keep track of vivid dreams. I started to because the one that I just had recently has been so visceral that it felt like it's happening right now. Like it was just a complete like 360 within that. Hello, hello. If you are joining me live, we're doing some oracle and tarot readings for your lunchtime. We're mainly going to be focusing on love and any messages for love that is kind of coming through. But before we do that, let me have some water. So the thing with dreams, sometimes they're calling them lucid dreaming. I don't think that that's really what was happening here, but it was definitely a really, really vivid dream that really just felt like I'm right there, and it's highly likely that that can actually happen. But the message takeaway was sort of like bringing back something that has already happened. And sometimes when that happens, it's sort of like having that deja vu moment of like, oh, I remember feeling like that in the past. And then when that presents itself again, it's interesting to kind of see like, like why is that happening, right? But I think that it happens because you're presented with situations and with circumstances that you've already lived through to see how much of a change you have created within your life. How much have you grown? How much have you really evolved from where you were in the past? Have you healed that stuff that used to really trigger you, or are you going to react differently given the circumstances? So just thinking about it like that, um, I kind of had this idea that the reason why this was coming up, beyond just bringing it into my consciousness again, it was coming up because I needed to be faced with all of the things that used to trigger me, and then see sort of like, okay, if you're saying that you're going to be stepping up, if you're saying that you're going to be leading people, or you're whatever your goal is personally, are you actually, it's sort of like that really that question of, are you sure? Because then I'm going to go and give you a few challenges along the way, or put you back into situations that have already happened, and see, you know, how you react, and how you're going to handle them in this present moment right now. Can you stay present with it? Can you sit with it? Can you sit in the uncomfortableness, or you just want to kind of shoo it away? So knowing that, I sort of have this message for all of you before we even pull cards, that take a look at like yours, even just like the last couple months, beyond just what's happening globally. What is actually arising for you personally? What is coming up for you personally? And are you handling them differently than the way that you used to in the past? Because that will kind of tell you how far you've come, and how you show up within relationships, especially, it's going to get tested. It's sort of like you're in. I'm keep looking at this card. It says Earth School. That's what I pulled for myself today. And but it's so true. You're going to get tested on a continual basis, because that's how you know that, like, you need some sort of a benchmark to see how you're going to change and evolve. So that is your message for today. But if you're just joining right now in this live stream, first of all, thank you. And let's take a moment. Hopefully, you already had your lunch, you've enjoyed it. Let's take a moment and just kind of find a nice, comfortable seated position wherever you are. Make sure that your spine is nice and in an upright position. You're probably not going to lay down by your desk, although you can if you really wanted to. And let's take a few deep breaths through the nose, exhale, mouth, just to kind of get settled and grounded and arrive where we are right now. And just sigh it out. Let's do that one more time. And sigh it out. And one last time. And sigh it out. And as you settle into this space, perhaps close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. Just take a moment to tune in to the rhythm of your breath without really wanting to adjust it, make adjustments, or make changes, or judge it. Just allow it to be just what it is right now in this present moment. Just simply witness the rise and falling sensation. Perhaps take note of where you feel it most prominently. Perhaps you feel it in your chest, or you feel it in your belly, or perhaps you feel the cool and warm sensation by your nostrils as the air flows through. And just take a moment also to check in with the body. Check and see what sensations you feel as you're seated in your chair, or perhaps in your cushion. Can you feel the pressure that your body creates as you're seated in your chair or on the earth? And you can bring your hands palm facing down on your thigh, or you can cup them in each other. There's so much energy that we hold in our hands that sometimes we don't know sort of what to do with them. And gently place the tongue at the roof of the mouth and perhaps gently leave them slightly open. Again, if that feels safe to do so. Nothing to do, just to be here, being present with your body. And once again, bring your awareness back to the rhythm of your breath and the quality of your breath. And perhaps check and see if the quality of your breath has changed from what it was when you first sat down. Perhaps you breathe a little deeper. And when you're ready, come back to the room you're in and the space you're in. Gently float your eyes open, come back into the room. So let's get started and take a look at what you guys can use as guidance for this weekend, especially when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to love. See what you guys need to know now that you're nice and present. By the way, if you are watching the replay, I sincerely hope that you will do this quick little grounding exercise because it's so short, but it can really help you get grounded, get stable, get present. And I think that if you do that, you're also going to be receiving the messages a little bit differently. And we have music. Enjoy. Okay. To me, it's sort of like the invitation, the invitation to tune into a different frequency. It's the invitation of allowing you to drift into a different, I don't want to say a different mindset, but a different state of consciousness, because really that's all that is you're allowing your body to vibrate at a different level with music, with sound. Sound can be a very powerful grounding tool, but it can also be sort of like used as a tool to help you recalibrate your own energy, your own frequency, especially if you're feeling a little bit out of alignment. Perhaps whether it's because of, whatever's happening globally, or because of what's happening with you personally in your personal space, or you're perhaps too caught up with whatever's happening in the world or whatever's happening in your local area. It doesn't take too long for you to get caught up in all of that and not feel steady within yourself. And if you don't have enough practices to help you get grounded, you know, it's not good. And we have two of coins. I feel like so many of you are trying to balance it, but it's like this balancing act of, do I pay attention to the news or do I just ignore it, wait for it to end? But also it's like, are you trying to juggle too many things? Because to me, this is all about not only juggling things energetically, juggling things physically, juggling too many jobs, taking on too many responsibilities. And I'm very much feeling like where you guys want to go is here. Where you want to feel energetically has more to do with this emotion, this feeling, this energetic frequency where it just feels lighter. Things just feel easier and lighter and more at ease, right? So I very much feel like what's really going to be needed right now is kind of returning back to your practices, returning back to the things that have helped you, the things that were helping you get grounded, the things that were really actually in alignment for you. Return back to joy. I'm kind of getting, I feel like there's so much joy that's kind of missing. You're not really sure where to get it from. Queen of Coins. But it's also about really seeing how you can kind of master. I think that some of you are definitely going to work with all the things that you have. So it's more going to be about working what you already have and really managing it all rather than feeling like you need more, like this constant hunger of like, it's still not enough. I still don't have enough. I'm not sure what to do. You know, like I feel like while you're balancing it all, when you kind of find that happy medium of how to create balance within your finances, within your life, within your energetic life, and within your relationships, because it's almost like, you're waiting for someone to sweep you off your feet, but then at the same time, like you also have so many things going on at the same time that it's like, how you're not creating space for it, you're not creating space for that connection, right? But not only are we not creating space for the connection, but also energetically we're unavailable, right? And what we really truly crave is just something simple, like allowing our vibration to actually be recalibrated through tapping into what used to bring us joy, or what brings us joy. Can you kind of return back to that and perhaps contemplate that over the weekend? Because there's so many simple ways that you can bring joy into your life and really elevate your vibration. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated, but it definitely helps if you make the commitment to just tune into that, right? Let me see if I can pull one more card for you guys. I feel like I picked the wrong time. I might retry this a little bit later on. I think last week we were chatting at 5 o'clock my time. So I'm going to be doing an Instagram live where we're pulling cards there as well. So that should be interesting. 6 of Coins. Yeah, I definitely feel like where you guys are energetically right now as a collective is all about just kind of remembering the good old times, remembering when everything was kind of together as a community, as in you got together with friends, you got to connect with friends, you had a chance to connect with people that you really resonate with. Like it was a good time. It was just so simple, whether it was just like family get-togethers or get-togethers with your friends for dinners. And it was just like, I think that some of you are really really missing that, and perhaps it would be a really nice time to kind of introduce that once again. But it's funny how like all three of these cards are all about, they're all pentacles. Like we have the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. So it's interesting that it's all around, like it's almost like everything around here is about not only the physical manifestation or the physical abundance, but then also how that kind of relates to your relationships. So perhaps some of you are very much just looking at like, how can I share what I have in a really deep, meaningful way with the people that I love? You know, when we're not really making it about, about money, but we're really making it about actual connection, right? And I think that I think that like it kind of goes back to this whole thing of just tuning back in to, it's not so much about music, but tuning back into your joy, tuning back into the things that used to really bring you so much joy, so much inner peace, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys, where it's going to be more important for you to kind of tune in to your own discernment of what brings you guys joy, tune back into what are the practices that will help you get grounded. I think that it's very important right now at this time to really use your own discernment and really kind of filter what you're allowing into your physical space and what you're not, what you're allowing into your energetic space and what you're not. So it's sort of like, hello, hello. Um, So that will be sort of like the ultimate takeaway is to kind of see where you're spending your energy, who are you spending your energy with, who are you allowing into your space, who is allowed and who isn't, and that will require some serious discernment. So, this is all I have for you guys. Hopefully, you have found this helpful. If you're watching the replay, please comment on it so I know that this has resonated. Hopefully, it has. I'm planning on doing weekly lives on this channel. And okay, I think that's spam. Um, I'm planning on doing weekly lives where we can pull some cards for you guys, do a little grounding breathwork meditation. In separate lives, we can actually get together to practice together. So if that sounds good, you would probably really enjoy it. Either way, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, and I cannot wait to see you in the next live. Bye.